What's up guys, Chandler here with Trident Fly Fishing, and welcome to another episode of the Reel Corner, where I give you the pros and cons of the industry's top fly reels. Now today I have with me two different trout reels. You know, we're really coming into trout season here in the Northeast, and I'm sure most of the people that live in the Western US are also fishing for trout this time of year. So I thought I'd bring you a good head-to-head comparison on two of my favorite trout reels. And the two reels I have with me today are the 5/6 version of the Ross Animas and the 5/6 version of the Galvan Rush LT. Now, as we dive into the ergonomics of these two reels, there's a couple key differences that you notice sort of right away. So when we're looking at both the spools side by side, you can clearly see that the Animas has a lot more porting on the spool, and that porting is going to lead to a lighter spool and a lighter overall reel weight on the Animas. You can also notice the difference in the reel handles here. The Animas has a waxed canvas reel handle that is super grippy when wet, one of the nicest reel handles made in my opinion, whereas the Galvan Rush LT has sort of a typical simple plastic reel handle. As we look at the reel frames, you can also see the difference in the two reels. The Animas has a little bit more porting and a little bit more structural support, whereas the Galvan Rush LT has sort of a three-pronged reel frame here. You'll also notice, as we look at the drag systems of these two reels, that the Animas has sort of a plastic component on the inside here, whereas the Galvan's drag system is full aluminum, which is a little bit more durable. Now, the Rush LT has a carbon disc drag system, whereas the Animas has a composite stacked drag system. And in fact, the drag on the Rush LT is a lot more powerful than the drag on the Animas. The Rush LT has a lot more max drag, and it'll stop fish a lot quicker than the Animas. Now, another difference in the drag systems of these two reels is the drag adjustability. Now, the Rush LT has pretty poor drag adjustability, and it takes a lot of turns of the drag knob to access the full range of drag. But what the Rush LT lacks in drag adjustability, the Animas makes up for. And the Animas actually has really good drag adjustability. It takes only a turn and a half or 2 turns of the drag knob to access the full range of drag on the Animas. Now, when we compare the sound of these two reels, you'll notice that the Rush LT has a much more hollow and pronounced incoming sound and a more muted drag sound. Personally, I prefer the sound of the Galvan Rush LT. It's a little bit more hollow, a little bit more pronounced, and the sound of the Animas is similar, both outgoing and incoming. Now, as we look at the retrieval rates of these two reels, you'll notice that the Animas actually has a larger arbor size. So the Animas is going to pick up line more quickly than the Rush LT. That being said, the Rush LT has more backing capacity, more line capacity, and is really the best option if you foresee needing more backing than, say, 100 yards. Now, when we compare the two reels in weight, we see that the Rush LT is a much heavier reel overall. The Rush LT weighs in at 5.5 ounces, whereas the Animas weighs in at 4.35 ounces. Now, that increase in weight is in part because of the lack of porting on the spool of the Rush LT. It's also in part because of the materials Galvan used on this reel. They set out to make a super durable reel finished with 6061 forged aluminum, and they succeeded in that mission, but that means that this reel is a little bit heavier than the Animas. Now, as I already mentioned, the Rush LT is quite a bit more durable than the Animas is. Holds up really well when dropped or scraped on a hard surface. It's going to be a really great trout reel for people that are visiting the backcountry or are likely to leave their rod out on the rocks or at the campsite. It's going to hold up really well in all conditions. That's not to say the Animas won't hold up well in all conditions, but it's a little bit less durable than the Rush LT. So we thought in this comparison we'd give you a quick recap of the categories we covered and a point ranking for each reel. The Animas earned a total point value of 44 out of 60, and the Rush Light earned a total point value of 42 out of 60. If you're an angler who prioritizes weight and aesthetics in a trout reel, say you're fishing spring creeks or you're fishing in the backcountry smaller rivers, you're going to want to fish the Ross Animas. If you'd rather have a really durable trout reel with a stronger drag system, say you're chasing big brown trout in Idaho with a 6-weight for example, the Rush Light is going to be the better tool for the job. Now the 5/6 version of the Rush Light retails for $280. And the 5/6 version of the Animas retails for $295. Both reels are available with free shipping from tridentflyfishing.com. If you have any questions about either of these reels or any reel in the Ross or Galvan lineup, don't hesitate to give us a call at the number below or contact us anytime at support@tridentflyfishing.com. If you enjoyed this video, be sure to give us a like in the box below and subscribe to our YouTube channel for more reviews, fishing trip recaps, and fly tying videos. Thanks for watching, and be sure to tune in next week as we review another trout reel, the Hardy Ultralight FWDD. I'm Chandler, and I'll see you next time on The Reel Corner.